everybody, this is TehKupkaque with another Pokemon Online battle. This is against FRANKEINO, and I start out with a Ferrothorn. He starts out with a Terrakion. I switch out of the Ferrothorn, preventing the obvious close combat. Seeing that I'm in Chandelure and knowing that he's Scarfed, I use Psychic, hitting anything he wants to send in moderately hard, which I should have used Shadow Ball, but I didn't want to risk him switching into Tyranitar. Sorry for that whistle right there, that happens sometimes. I'm Scarfed into Psychic, so he uses U-turn, switches into Alakazam. I switch out, predicting the Dark type move, but he goes for the HP Fire, which I really didn't see coming. He was predicting my switch out of Chandelure into Cobalion, most definitely. So, what happens? We pull a double switch into Landorus and Chandelure. He uses U-turn again, this time into Tyranitar, but I predict that he's not going to go into Alakazam, so I actually go for the Energy Ball. Actually, I don't know. He's probably thinking I'd use Psychic just to attack the Landorus, but I use Energy Ball, and that time it does minimum damage, which really sucked. The first time did like 38%, this time did 32%, which really did matter because now he's not going to be low enough for my Energy Ball to KO, and instead he's going to be at 7% HP. Lol died with 69% health left, and he's gonna end up living, so if I was Specs I would have taken him out, but I'm Scarfed. So I go into my Rotom, and he switches out of his Tyranitar into Landorus as I go for the Thunder Wave. And the Thunder Wave, of course, doesn't hit it because it's Ground type, which doesn't make any sense as a status move. Glare can hit Ghost types, but Thunder Wave can't hit Ground types. That doesn't make any sense at all to me. And he switches out into Tyranitar as I actually go for the Will-O-Wisp and miss, which really, it actually wasn't that vital, except it killed off my Rotom. So this Confuse Ray, of course it hits and he's confused, but he breaks out of confusion, so I haven't gotten like any hacks this game, and he's gotten like one, I think. Yeah, a lot. He's gotten a lot more than me. He's gotten more than me at least. So more than me at least. That narrows it down to like 50 million at least. Ha ha ha. I'm funny with my at least. I go into my Dunsparce and he switches out of Tyranitar. I don't know why. But I go for the Glare, it paralyzes his Terrakion. But his Terrakion is Scarfed and still faster than my Fluttershy when paralyzed. That says something. It says that Terrakion should be in Ubers. So, he goes for the close combat, kills, doesn't get the Parahacks, of course. I go into my Hitmontop. He switches out, getting rid of his defense, and I go for the Mach Punch. With the Mach Punch, no, pretty much nothing he'll send in can take a Mach Punch really easily, and Alakazam, except Alakazam, but that won't really like to take it either, with its like the less HP left. I don't know how much it had, like 72% maybe. I go for the Revenge. It does a good half amount of damage. I don't know why, but I know why he went for the Swords Dance, so he can set up a sweep, but then he goes for the Roost, and I don't know why he would do that, because if he keeps going for that, I'm going to stall him out with Revenge. But I actually get a crit on that turn, which really mattered. It did double the damage, and I ended up with 50% that turn, so it ended up killing, which that made me really happy. Because that thing would have like dominated the rest of my team. It would have been a 5-0. But I go for the Mach Punch. It goes for the U-turn and he goes into Landorus, so he can start his U-turn chain. But with my priority moves, that's not going to work out that well. So what I do this turn, I go for the Bullet Punch. I get another crit and it kills. So Hitmontop is really pulling its own weight right now. It's doing awesome. I take Sandstorm damage, and he switches into Jirachi again. I go for the Mach Punch just to do some final damage, kind of hoping for a crit, but I don't get it. Kill myself off with Life Orb, and then he goes with U-turn and misses entirely. He wouldn't have hit anyway. Look how far off he was. He missed the big giant rock standing right in front of my Pokemon. So I go into Cobalion knowing that it's not going to really want to do anything to me. Even if it's a physical attacker, I could tell that by the U-turn, and I'm going to take that with 4 times resistance. But he uses Healing Wish and brings out Terrakion as I go for the close combat and miss, which was really gay. And he goes for the close combat. It kills off my Cobalion easily kills my Cobalion. There's nothing I could have done to live that. So I go into Ferrothorn. He uses close combat. I surprisingly live because I'm not fully physically bulky. Max HP half. No, I have 232 HP and then 148 for whatever, 138.6. I don't even know anymore. 136, 138 in both defenses. But he goes into Alakazam, and this is over because he's got HP Fire, as I said earlier. So, really fun battle. OU, I'm not a big fan of sand teams, so please don't use them against me. His name is FRANKEINO. It's linked in the description, and check out Pokemon Battles.